Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So the last couple of videos I've done have just kind of been recaps of some of the figures that I had growing up, some of the figures I've unboxed on the channel, and so while going through a lot of old items, I found my old collection of Beyblades. I don't have a ton of them. I'm not an expert on Beyblades, but I just wanted to share with you the ones that I had, and then let me know which ones were your favorites or which ones you've had. I'm not really planning on doing any unboxings of these because they are so expensive online. But if there are any you'd like to see, just leave a comment down below, and if I can find it for a decent price, I'm happy to do an unboxing or kind of a put together video, whatever you want to call it. So before we get into that, there's this little pamphlet that I found, Beyblade G Revolution. This kind of gives us the names of all of these, so if there's any that I forgot or can't remember right off the bat, I may have to reference this, but this was neat. You kind of go through and check off which ones you've had or which ones you got. While collecting. I never had them all, but I ended up with quite a few. So before we get to these RC ones, which I think are really cool, just gonna go through some of these guys. And this was the first one that I ever had. It was the Dronzer GT. And this was from Beyblade G Revolution. So just gonna kind of zoom in on that so you guys can see the sticker of the Bit Beast. And I think this was not an attacking one or defending, it was kind of the in-between. I forget what those were called. I want to say endurance, maybe I'm wrong on that, but yeah, this was the Dronzer GT, Dronzer Gigs Turbo, and yeah, it's combination type, so that's what they call it on the sheet here. So that was my first one. Kai was always my favorite character, so I had to start off with the Dronzer for sure. The next one that I believe I got was the Drasil, and so we've got that one here up close so you guys can see the Bit Beast and the details. Some of these stickers are coming off a little bit, but they're actually doing pretty well considering these are from probably 2005, 2006, I'd say, maybe a year or two or before. But this is the metal ball version. Not really sure what that means, but this was definitely a defensive type. I think we all knew if we watched Beyblade, if you had your seal, it was going to be for defensive. You basically dropped the Beyblade and it spun in one spot, and you just hope that it spun longer than your opponent. Third one I got was the Drigger G, one of my favorite ones. This was an attacking Beyblade, and if your the stadium was too small, I mean, this Beyblade would just jump right out of it. So we had one that was a little bit smaller than those giant plastic ones, and every time you let it loose in there, it would either hit the other Beyblade and they would both fall apart, or it would just spin, bounce off the walls, and jump out of the arena. So really cool one. Great detailing here in the stickers, and these stickers held up really well. We got some red here in the blue, and then this giant attack ring. And you can see the Bit Beast up close. So super cool looking Beyblade. And then the fourth one I got was the Dragoon G, maybe Galaxy, I think is what it stood for. And on this one too, the stickers did a good job of staying on long term. Here's the Bit Beast up close. Oh, come on. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. And then the bottom, we just got a bunch of green stickers. So this one always looked really cool. If you're using it to go up against one of your friends, you just see a lot of green and red as it was spinning around. So kind of start off with the main character collection. That was a big deal for me at first. And then I got this Cyber Dragoon. I mean, you guys remember this was from Beyblade V-Force, I want to say. I could be wrong. You know, in the show, he had this little thing where it would spring up. So you can see he's kind of raised up here. And then if you push this down, you can lock it in. So you would launch the Beyblade, it'd spin for a little bit, and then this part would pop up, and it was supposed to jump over your opponent or do something like that. In my experience, this was one of the worst Beyblades I had because it would pretty much jump automatically and then spin slowly, and then this piece would be fighting whatever your opponent had, and so it didn't do anything. So this awesome attack ring you had up here, you never really got to use. I know in the show it's cool because they'll kind of go off on the side and they'll be using this to fight the opponent, but in real life it never worked out that way. At least not for me. If anyone else had more success with this, please let me know. But here is the Bit Beast up close. Looks pretty cool, and the color on it's awesome. I think it was awesome in the show. A really neat concept, but just not the best thing if you actually wanted to win. And then next, let's jump into this one. So this is definitely one of the older ones because it's so much smaller, but this is the Black Dronzer. And I mean, for those of us who watched the first season, you know, when Kai got the Black Dronzer and was stealing everybody else's Bit Beast, it was just the coolest thing. And so I just couldn't wait to get my hands on the black Bronzer Beyblade. I thought I could just beat anybody, but really it's no different than the regular blue Bronzer. Got the little plastic bit at the bottom, some green stickers down there. So in the show, it was a super powerful Beyblade, but in real life, it was just like the other one, but black. But I guess as a kid, you know, you're thinking, oh, hey, this can't lose in the show, so it won't lose in real life. And then it turns out that it's just a normal Beyblade. But I love the sticker of the Bit Beast. And this is definitely one of my favorites. Just so much nostalgia and always that memory of thinking that it would be the best Beyblade. In reality, it was just like the other ones. This is another smaller one too. They had this one in black and purple. I ended up getting the purple one. It's Galleon. You guys remember Lee? He was on Ray's team, White Tigers. For those of you who watched the English version, didn't watch the Japanese. So if there was a different set of names for the Bit Beast or characters, I don't know what they are. So I'm just basing it off of the English version. But it came with this little ring that can either be back here. I don't know if it's supposed to come out during battle, but I noticed every time I used it, it was pretty much just back here whenever the Beyblade stopped. So I don't know if it ever did anything, but it looked pretty cool to be able to kind of have that extra little attack ring. And then you can see the Bit Beast up close. Nice sticker, super cool detail. Not any stickers in the bottom, but overall, still a nice Beyblade. And then this one is Walborg 4, according to the chart. So we can see we've got these wolf stickers, and then we've got the Bit Beast right there. This one had this funky ring that I guess you could kind of wind up, and then, you know, I'm not sure if I think take this off, and then you wind it up and you let it go, and it was supposed to, there it goes. Yeah, it was supposed to spin a ton. Not the worst Beyblade, but not the best. And a lot of times I just found like I found that this piece and the ring were doing more of the fighting than the actual attack ring. But I think it's just like the Cyber Dragoon, where in the show maybe has kind of a cool concept or it can do something, but if you actually get it in real life, it doesn't do much for you. This was a Drigger. I don't know which one it was, but it looks almost metallic. It feels a little bit heavier. The ring, sorry for the camera, but the ring does feel metallic and a little bit heavier. And you can see the sticker is kind of holographic. Looks like Drigger smiling, looks pretty happy. A lot of the stickers came off for this one. I have no idea where I got this. Maybe it was a gift, or maybe a friend gave it to me. Saw it in the box the other day. I actually don't even remember having that. And then we have Metal Drigger, bright green color, kind of a weird sticker. If you don't know what you're looking for, you probably can't even tell what it is. But nice color, decent Beyblade. I mean, not the best, not the worst, but just kind of got it to add to the collection at the time, or it was a present. I don't really have much of a backstory on this one. Just happened to have it. So let me get this lid here out of the way, and then we can get into these two. So these were the RC Beyblades. This was the Dronzer V, Dronzer Volcano. Now I think this is the Dronzer V2. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what this was. Maybe not, but let me see if we can zoom in on that Bit Beast sticker. So super cool looking Dronzer. I always wanted this one growing up. Could not find it in stores, and the RC version I think was $30, whereas the other ones were $7 or $8, so I went to get it. My mom and dad were like, what's the difference? Just get the one that's $7. You know, we're not gonna pay $30 for Beyblade. And that makes sense. But a bunch of stickers here on the bottom. So a couple years later, I was able to find this on eBay and get it for a decent price. I just put it on the charger. It's been so long since I've even tried it, but if you push, basically you would launch the Beyblade, and if you pull this trigger, it was supposed to make this piece spin and give it that extra boost. So you could be battling one of your friends, and whenever his gets close to kind of giving up or slowing down, you could push this button, give yours an extra boost and beat them. So basically, if you had an RC Beyblade, you were never going to lose to a standard one, because all you have to do is push this button, and then you would get more of a boost, and yours would just continue to spin more and more. So if we put them on here, you can maybe see a light coming on. So if I pull the trigger now, if you listen, so it's starting to spin there at the bottom. So not a ton of charge, but see, I'm holding this and it's just making it spin. So if I was to put it down on here, let's see, hopefully keeps that charge, but come on, let me try that one more time. I shouldn't have held the button for so long when I took it right off the charge. So we're gonna just hold it here for a second. This charge light is on over here. Hopefully you can see it pretty well. And then we take it off. We can put the Beyblade down and we pull the trigger. And essentially you give it an extra boost. So the Dronzer was super cool. And outside of the Dronzer, I also had to get the Dracil. And this Dracil is just like the other one. I think the battery on this one just might be completely shot. But this is just like the other Dracil that I have. The only difference is that the stickers on this one are purple and a lighter green, and the stickers on this one are yellow and a blue, but the same Beyblade. These always had that thicker kind of extra ring, I think because of the little motor in there for the RC. So yeah, that is the Beyblade collection. You're gonna pull up these two guys really close. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your favorite Beyblades were growing up. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I have more videos coming out soon.